Well everyone, it's that time of year again. As we approach 2020, it's time to take a look at all of the biggest, most anticipated roller coasters set to open next year. For this year's recap video, I decided to mix things up a bit. Unlike last year, I won't be including family or kiddie coasters. Instead, I'll be focusing on the major thrill coasters not just in North America, but all over the world. Also note that I won't discuss rides with not enough information known about them, but enough guidelines. Here are the most anticipated 2020 roller coasters from A to Z in countries A to Z. First, we're heading to Australia, where not one, but two new roller coasters are coming to the Queensland area. First is Leviathan at SeaWorld, a wooden coaster by American manufacturer Gravity Group. This coaster will be part of an all-new themed area named New Atlantis. It will be installed along a Trident-themed Starflyer and is currently under construction as we speak. Leviathan will be the first new wooden roller coaster to open in the continent since Bush Beast and Beastie opened at Wonderland Sydney in 1985. For the first time ever, Australia will receive a modern wooden roller coaster, complete with all of the jovial airtime we've come to know and love from Gravity Group. And as an added bonus, the last car of each train will run backwards, much like Australia's recent DC Rivals Hypercoaster. This will give riders the option to experience the same coaster in a whole new way and give thrill seekers an even more exciting ride experience. Look for this coaster to generate quite a bit of hype in the coming months. Not too far away, Dreamworld will be getting its first new roller coaster in almost a decade. This unnamed attraction will be a launch coaster by German manufacturer Mack Rides. Though the general layout will be the same as their famous Bluefire model, this installation will feature an interesting twist to mix things up a bit. Instead of a single launch into the course, this coaster will launch the vehicle backwards into a vertical spike to gain momentum. The force of gravity will then send the train back downwards, where the additional energy will send guests through the layout at top speed. Just like with Bluefire, the course will include 4 thrilling inversions, a vertical loop, an inline twist, and a crazy twisted horseshoe roll. After the sudden closure of Tower of Terror 2, this coaster will have some pretty big shoes to fill, but though it isn't as tall or fast, its longer layout and multiple inversions may just make it a better ride. Next up on our world tour is Austria. Here we have a new rollerball coaster coming to the world-famous Wiener Prater. To sum it all up, a rollerball is a recently developed coaster model by Swiss manufacturer Ride Engineer Switzerland. It features a vertical, towering layout and swinging 4-seater trains. The ride experience features downward dips and a special braking system to swing the trains. After the success of Germany's Wilde Hilde and France's Nid du Marsupilami, another 2 rollerballs are set to open next year. The one at Wiener Prater will have the same exact layout as Marsupilami. As of right now, this coaster has completed construction and is set to open sometime in the next few months. Across the Atlantic, we have Vipère opening at Montreal, Quebec's La Ronde. Made by Swiss manufacturer Intamin, this isn't technically a new coaster. However, it's still a new addition nonetheless. Formerly known as Green Lantern First Flight at California's Six Flags Magic Mountain, this coaster became infamous for its negatively received ride experience. After 2 years of standing but not operating in California, the decision was made to completely renovate the ride for La Ronde. It will reportedly receive a complete retracking, as well as several other unspecified upgrades. It will be Canada's first 4D coaster, featuring seats that rotate parallel to the track. Its small footprint will fit in nicely with the park's setting, and it could very well surprise parkgoers. If you missed out on this credit at Magic Mountain, feel free to book a ticket to Montreal and check this ride out. But Quebec isn't the only French-speaking area getting attractions. Yep, France itself will have 2 thrilling coasters opening up in 2020. First up, Multimedia Park Futuroscope will be opening Objectif Mars. For over 30 years, Futuroscope has served as one of the most popular theme parks in all of France. It features several 3D and 4D theaters, as well as other innovative attractions like a robo-coaster. In 2020 though, this park will open its biggest roller coaster to date, and this one is quite a doozy. Made by Intamin, this ride will feature an elaborate storyline based on space training for a mission to Mars. Riders will board spinning cars and be taken through an indoor and outdoor course. This ride will feature a tire launch and several themed segments based on interstellar elements like solar flares and electromagnetic fields. Perhaps the most anticipated element of the ride will be France's first drop track. This element element features a mechanism that drops the track downwards with guests on board, giving a unique freefall sensation, and the coaster in general will be an innovative addition to France's ride lineup. About 5 hours away, a small amusement park named La Recre des Trois Queues is getting a new major roller coaster named Vertica. This will be a Eurofighter model by German manufacturer Gerstlauer. This one will have a completely custom layout to fit the park's terrain. Its short but sweet layout will feature a 91-degree drop, a vertical loop, and a corkscrew. At 5 million euros, Vertica will reportedly be the park's single biggest investment to date. Leave it to the fine folks at Gerstlauer to provide small parks on a budget with big thrills. Up next is Germany, which will receive 3 roller coasters in 2020, the first of which being FLY at Phantasialand. While it isn't 100% guaranteed to open next year, recently released teasers do at least hint at a 2020 opening. This will be a prototype launch flying coaster by Dutch manufacturer Vekoma. This coaster has been under construction for quite some time, and over the past few years, it has drummed up quite a bit of buzz among enthusiasts. This model will build upon Vekoma's previous Flying Dutchman and Stingray models to create something entirely new and revolutionary. Unlike other flying coasters, this model will feature rotating seats that will turn guests into a flying position instead of lifting them like Swiss manufacturer B&M's Flyer. This system will allow for easier and more efficient boarding, and could very well pave the way for more Vekoma Flyers in the future. As for the ride itself, it will feature immense steampunk theming, including numerous near-miss effects with brick buildings. FLY will be part of a new themed area named Rookburg, and it's sure to continue in the park's tradition of stunning theming. When this coaster opens, it'll be something to see indeed. Also in Germany, Tripsdrill will be getting 2 new roller coasters. In addition to a new family boomerang, Vekoma will also be adding another thrill ride to the park. This ride, named Hals über Kopf, will be a prototype suspended thrill coaster model. This model will be based on the company's suspended family coaster. It will have a similar train design, but it will be capable of more intense elements and inversions. Hals über Kopf will feature 4 inversions, and the track is currently being installed at the park. If you're planning a trip to Germany, see if you can fit in this exciting park. Finally for the country, there's one more rollerball set to open at Seilbahnen Thaler Liebnesfeld. It'll be part of a major expansion that includes a small family coaster as well. Additionally, it will feature the exact same layout as Wilde Hilde, and will operate alongside the wonderfully weird Hexen Bessen. This small park will have quite a quirky ride lineup, which makes it a bucket list park in my book. Next up for Europe is Poland. Here you will find the wildly acclaimed Energylandia. In just 5 years, this park has opened a whopping 15 roller coasters. These include Hyperion and Zadra, 2 coasters widely considered to be the best in the world. Not to be outdone, next year we'll introduce an incredible new thrill ride. This aquatic-themed coaster named Abyssus will be a Shockwave model by Vekoma. Recently unveiled by the manufacturer, the Shockwave is an LSM magnetic launch coaster capable of high speeds and thrilling elements. Abyssus will feature 4 inversions, including a batwing element, a vertical loop, and a corkscrew. It will reach a top speed of 62 miles per hour, giving it the fastest launch in all of Poland. These stats, combined with its Atlantis-style theming, will undoubtedly make it another A-list attraction for what could be considered the coaster capital of Europe. Finally for the continent is the United Kingdom, where 2 thrilling coasters will open in England. First is Storm Chaser at Hampshire's Paultons Park. This one will be manufactured by Mach Rides, and will have the same layout as Sierra Sidewinder at California's Knott's Berry Farm. Paultons Park is mainly geared towards families, so this will be one of its most thrilling rides. Moreover, it will be part of a new American Midwest themed area named Tornado Springs, which will include an American-style diner and several new attractions. Its layout may not be anything new, but it will still be an excellent addition for this smaller family park. On a more thrilling note, Flamingoland will be receiving its biggest and most exciting addition in quite some time, a currently unnamed Intamin 10 inversion coaster. This particular roller coaster has quite a history behind it. Originally intended for Brazil's Hopi Hari, the track was originally sent to the park in 2012. Unfortunately, it was never constructed due to the park's financial issues. It would then be sent to Malaysia's Movie Animation Park Studios, but it would still not be constructed for unknown reasons. Finally, Flamingoland managed to acquire it, and the ride is currently under construction at the park. The burgundy track is being put up as we speak, and with lap bars instead of over-the-shoulder restraints, it will give guests a more open experience during each inversion. So if you didn't care for the restraints on Colossus at Thorpe Park, this coaster may be right up your alley. Now it's time for the United States, where 11 thrilling roller coasters will make their debut. Starting off at Six Flags Over Texas, Aquaman Power Wave is set to make a major splash in 2020. Themed to my mother's favorite DC superhero, this coaster also has an interesting backstory. Originally purchased for the proposed Six Flags Dubai, this coaster allegedly made its way to Texas after plans for that park fell through. It'll serve as a fitting replacement for the old Aquaman Shoot the Chutes ride, and will give a substantially more thrilling ride experience. With the use of an LSM launch, passengers will be shot back and forth on a bracket-shaped layout. The train gradually gains momentum, going further up the ends with each launch. After the strongest launch, the splash track at the bottom will fill with water, leading guests to plummet right into it. This ride will allow guests to cool off in the hot Texas sun, and this model is said to provide wildly entertaining forces and airtime. It's been quite some time since Six Flags Over Texas got an addition this impressive, and I can't wait to check it out. Up in Michigan, a smaller but still exciting roller coaster will open at Craig Cruiser's Family Fun Center in the town of Mears. Specifically, this will be a prototype Big Air model by Italian manufacturer SBF Visa. Though RCDB lists this as a family coaster, I can say from personal experience that this one is definitely a thrill ride. Those attending the 2019 IAAPA Expo were actually able to ride this coaster on the trade floor. While this is an average spinning coaster for the most part, one of the train's cars provides a substantially more thrilling ride. Known as the quote-unquote hamster wheel by IAAPA attendees, this circular ride vehicle uses a tire system to flip guests along certain sections of the track. Passengers will rotate parallel to the vehicle's path, and the design is both innovative and exciting. If you've ever wanted to ride in a washing machine without drowning, this ride's for you. Up in Pennsylvania, the world-famous Hershey Park will be getting Candymonium. With a decadent dark chocolate-colored track, this B&M hypercoaster will be the tallest, fastest, and longest roller coaster at Hershey Park. Like I always say, you can never go wrong with a B&M Hyper, and this one is sure to be no less awesome than the others. As with other hypers, the layout will feature numerous floater airtime moments. Moreover, it will include a picturesque bank turn around the new Hershey Kiss fountain. The ride itself will be the main attraction of the park's new Chocolate Town area. This massive expansion will also bring in new assorted shops and restaurants, and the whole thing is bound to make Hershey Park even sweeter than it already is. With CoasterCon coming to Eastern Pennsylvania next year, I'll be sure to get as many rides on this as I can. Out west, California's SeaWorld San Diego will be receiving Emperor. This will be the first B&M dive coaster on the West Coast, and will be the tallest coaster ever to come to San Diego. This ride will take guests over 150 feet in the air before suspensefully hanging them over the 90-degree drop. Once the holding brake is released, passengers will plunge downwards into the layout. This custom course will feature 3 inversions, an Immelman, a barrel roll, and a corkscrew. Emperor will be directly named after the famed species of penguins diving into the frigid Arctic waters. Ordinarily, you wouldn't expect a coaster themed to penguins to be this thrilling, but there's no doubt Emperor will wildly impress parkgoers. This coaster follows a recent pattern of growth for the park, and will be its 3rd roller coaster in 3 years. Needless to say, things are really looking up for the San Diego amusement market. Yet another SeaWorld coaster will be Icebreaker at Florida's SeaWorld Orlando. Made by American manufacturer Premier Rides, this coaster will be a custom variation on the company's Skyrocket model. Like the famous Skyrocket 2, Icebreaker will feature a multi-pass LSM launch system. After a mild launch forwards, the train will launch backwards into a 100-degree beyond vertical spike. The train will then go down into the forwards launch, gaining enough momentum to traverse the course at 52 miles per hour. Though it won't feature inversions, the layout will include strong airtime moments, including an 80-foot-tall top hat that's sure to give riders an excellent view of the park. Icebreaker will be SeaWorld Orlando's first launch coaster, filling in a long-standing gap, but that's not all for SeaWorld Entertainment in 2020. Now let's talk about a ride seemingly everyone is buzzing about, Iron Gwazi at Florida's Busch Gardens, Tampa. In a recent poll I conducted, this ride was rated the most anticipated 2020 roller coaster, and with the reputation RMC has in the community, it's no wonder why. Since 2011, the Idaho-based company has blown away thrill seekers with its innovative transformations of old wooden roller coasters into new steel ones. When the original Gwazi closed down in 2015, speculation ran rampant about a new RMC hybrid coaster. Well, after half a decade of anticipation, the much sought-after Gwazi makeover will make its debut in 2020. 2020. This crocodile-themed coaster will be the tallest, fastest, and steepest hybrid coaster in the world. It will be the first roller coaster by RMC to feature a beyond vertical drop, with its angle of descent at 91 degrees. Although the layout hasn't been fully disclosed yet, it is still 100% certain to feature a plethora of ejector airtime moments and forceful ride elements. Whether this coaster will live up to its hype is unknown, but considering RMC's unstoppable winning streak, I recommend getting a flight to Tampa next year. In addition to Iron Gwazi, RMC will be working their magic in New Jersey with Jersey Devil Coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. After receiving universal acclaim with their prototype Raptor coasters, the company has brought this single-rail concept to the forefront in the amusement industry. With its fast pace, high intensity, and open ride feel, the Raptor model has earned a reputation as one of the most exciting roller coaster models on the market. In 2020, the biggest single-rail coaster to date will be coming to the East Coast. With a top height of 130 feet and a top speed of 58 miles per hour, Jersey Devil Coaster will be the tallest and fastest single-rail coaster on Earth. Its narrow, large-scale layout will pack in strong pops of airtime and 3 fast-paced inversions. The one-per-row seats will allow passengers to straddle the track, giving an open feeling as they zoom through the course. It'll be the first original ground-up coaster to come to Great Adventure since El Toro in 2006. Having ridden Wonder Woman Golden Lasso at Six Flags Fiesta Texas, I can safely say the Raptor coaster is one of the most thrilling and fast-paced attractions I've ever ridden, and I can only imagine how amazing the experience will be on a bigger scale. You bet I'll be driving down to New Jersey as soon as this opens. Back in the Cedar Fair chain, Ohio's Kings Island will receive the highly anticipated Orion, a B&M Giga coaster. It'll be the first B&M Giga since Fury 325 opened in 2015. Just looking at the elements, Orion arguably has enough standout features to give Fury some competition. The fast-paced, high-altitude layout will feature a grand-scale bank turnaround and a forceful, tight helix towards the end. Its stunning blue track will tower above the trees, and will add even more mystique to the park's skyline. Longtime fans of Kings Island have been wanting a Giga coaster for quite some time, and the speculation for one goes way back. It'll be the tallest and fastest roller coaster ever installed by the park, and it's sure to be a spectacular crowd pleaser for park goers. SeaWorld coaster number 4 is Pantheon at Virginia's Busch Gardens Williamsburg. This Intamin Blitz coaster will be themed to the Roman gods and be located inside the park's Italian section. At a top speed of 73 miles per hour, it will be the fastest multi-launch coaster in the world. This ride will have a unique feel that will help it stand out from the park's other launch coasters. Perhaps the most notable feature of Pantheon is its innovative switch track feature. When the train reaches the top hat, it won't have enough momentum to crest the element. During the initial ascent, the track behind passengers will switch out, creating a new reverse pathway into a vertical spike. This spike will help the train gain momentum before descending into the launch again. A system like this is truly revolutionary, and with additional inversions and out-of-your-seat moments, this gold-tracked coaster is an excellent addition to one of the most beautiful parks on Earth. On a milder note, California's Six Flags Discovery Kingdom will receive Sidewinder Safari, its 3rd consecutive roller coaster in 3 years. Now you may think this is a family coaster at first glance, but in my opinion, the Zamperla Spinning Wild Mouse is one of the most dizzying models on the market. I gotta say, when this thing spins, it spins hard. It's definitely not for the faint of stomach, and its relatively low height requirement allows guests young and old to test their limits. It'll be the first spinning roller coaster to operate at the park since Pandemonium was relocated to Mexico in 2013. Though it's not the first of its kind, its compact layout and forceful spinning feature will make it a great addition to Discovery Kingdom. And finally, we have the last SeaWorld coaster of 2020, Texas Stingray at SeaWorld San Antonio. Made by American manufacturer Great Coasters International, this will be the tallest, fastest, and longest wooden roller coaster in the state of Texas. It will also be the first full-circuit wooden coaster to come to the state in over a decade. It'll feature both a 100-foot drop and a 100-foot long tunnel. Moreover, the layout will include steep bank turns and more than enough fast-paced airtime moments for thrill seekers, all of which will be made even more awesome with that classic wooden coaster feel you just can't get on steel coasters. Kudos to GCI and Gravity Group for keeping the wooden coaster alive. Overall, 2020 looks like yet another amazing year for roller coasters. And if you love to travel as much as I do, be sure to hit up as many of these as you can. Thank you all so much, and if you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so once again at the link in the description. Thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or you can check out my website at themeparkcrazy.com. This is Theme Park Crazy, and I'll see you all next time.